peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We're out here. First thing in the morning is beautiful. The sun is shining on my face. Feels so good. How to deal with the passing of a loved one. How do we deal with grief, with loss, with death? I said passing, that is a euphemism for death. For so many of us, we've had someone we know who has passed away. It's tough, it's not easy. Along my journey, I've had friends who have died. I've even had some friends who have committed suicide. I've had my grandma who died. Everyone knows someone who has passed away, and it can leave many of us numb. It can leave many of us feeling life is not worth living. But let me tell you, life is worth living. Dealing with the passing of a loved one, I always say we have to embrace whatever nature throws our way. We have to essentially embrace death. We have to accept death. We must not suppress our emotions at this time. The first thing that happens when someone dies for a lot of us is we enter a state of denial. I can't believe it. Okay, who cares? YOLO, you only live once. Too bad, I can't do anything about it. I don't want to know, don't talk to me. We do anything apart from observing what has just taken place. When you become silent and embrace, tune in 100% to what has taken place, it frees your soul. Because many of us on the planet are desensitized. Therefore, we suppress our emotions. Suppression is depression. Therefore, when you cannot express yourself 100%, all of the emotions are stored within your body. Therefore, you could erupt at any time. In essence, all of the pain is trapped within you, and you take on that burden. In essence, let the tears roll down your face if you want to cry. A lot of men in our society, we are told, do not express emotions. Women are allowed to cry though. We have to see that death is a passing. It is a transition. In essence, along my journey, I have seen that no one ever really dies. We are comprised of energy. If I was to ask you, how old are you? You tell me you're 34, you're 50 years old, you're 17. But how old is the energy within you? The energy is infinite because energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transferred. There is no death in nature. When we can see this, it liberates us because we realize there is only life in nature. Nature is forever blossoming flowers with beautiful colors. Nature is the alchemist. Nature is the great transformer. And when we talk of passing states, such as when people die, their body will be used by nature to create whatever nature wants. That's how I see it. Of course, everyone sees things in a different way, and that is the beauty of life. But we have to remember that by ignoring what has taken place, in essence, only creates more confusion within ourselves because we haven't addressed the issue. We haven't actually come to terms with what's taken place. Life and death are connected. In essence, they are brother and sister. They are night and day. They are two sides of the same coin. If you love life, there is no fear of death. If you do not embrace life, you will not embrace death. Along my journey, I do not fear death at all because I do not fear life. I embrace life 100%. I realize that, yes, we are infinite, we are immortal, but in essence, in this 3D reality, we live in a flash of light. Therefore, we have to make the most of life. We have to do everything we came here to do. We cannot rest on our laurels. We cannot say in an afterlife, I will do this. No. There is only now. Everything is happening right now. The past, present, future are all interconnected. In essence, life is one big moment. Life is the only gift you have to return to sender. And that's how I deal when someone I know passes away. I say life is a package. We were given this great gift, but in essence we have to return it. We are made from the same fabric as the universe. Therefore, once again, show me where there is death in nature. Because whenever something dies, the next couple of seconds, it is transformed into something else. So nature is the alchemist. You have the seasons. It's winter, spring, summer, autumn. Life is a continuous process. There is no stop. We are infinite. Whatever we do now echoes into eternity. So we have to see when we are dealing with someone who has passed away, a loved one. This should make us reflect on what we are doing with our lives. How can we learn from this passing? What is nature attempting to communicate to us? Do not turn a blind eye. We have to also connect to someone else that can help us through this time. Build a support network. If there's someone you know who has passed away, do not suffer in silence because the universe always sends someone. Form a group, meet with friends, talk over what has happened. Because all of that helps us heal ourselves. When we do not talk to anyone, in essence, we don't even know how we feel. It's not about burdening someone with our problems, it's about sharing. Because how we talk about life should be how we talk about death. Many of us, we're on the run from ourselves. Therefore, by not observing death, it becomes the skeleton in the closet. It becomes fear. Fear is the greatest energy vampire. Once you see that, embrace that there is no death. There is only transformation, and your life will be transformed. We have a wonderful world. It's up to us how we are going to live on this planet. When we talk of the passing of a loved one, we have to enjoy their beautiful moments they shared with us on earth. Celebrate their amazing life as opposed to looking at how tragic the situation is, because everything is based on perception, is based on how we see the world. Make sure you go out, because many people who are grieving, who are mourning a loved one, stay indoors. They suffer from anxiety and depression. However, once you go into nature, you feel calmer. You learn from nature. You realize that nature is our true home and being free is our birthright. So at this difficult time, take a walk in the park. Be around animals, because animals are great teachers and masters. We have to learn from animals how they can just exist in the now with no fear of death. Because in essence, life and death are one in the same. It's beautiful to see that nobody has got out of life alive. There is no escape, because we don't need to escape. We don't need to run away from ourselves. We have to see that life is a great mystery, as is death. But when we're talking of someone we know so close to us who has just passed away, see that it is, in essence, how we see their lives. That is all that matters. The memory we have of them. The good times and the bad times and the funny times. Death makes all of us equal. From the pauper to the millionaire. No one can run away from this transformation, this transition we all must take, because in essence, this is the metamorphosis from one state to the next. We are moving from a caterpillar into a butterfly. In some cultures, some indigenous cultures in Africa and South America, when a baby is born, they cry because they see the baby is dying. The baby has died because it has gone from a state of innocence. The baby was in source energy, and now the baby, which is being born, is actually dying because it is losing its essence, being connected to a higher vibrational energy. So everything is based on how we see it. Some people celebrate. Remember, whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on this event being a tragedy, then that's what grows. If you focus on this loved one being such an amazing person, that's what grows. That's what creates your reality. You envision them in a beautiful light, and in turn you receive a beautiful calm energy. It pervades your whole being because you see it is not something to be sad about, just as life is not something to be sad about. You embrace the totality of existence. You see that we have to appreciate the living as well. When someone dies, what happens? There's a massive funeral. People spend thousands of pounds on a gold casket. However, when the person was alive, how did we treat this person? So we have to remind ourselves, how are we treating people who are living right now? Because that is all that matters. Nothing is going to bring that person back to life. But the people who are alive today, treat them how you are treating that person who has just passed away. Give them flowers. Don't pick a flower which is living, because now you're killing the flower. Treat everyone with respect. Make sure that you see the death as just a process of universal intelligence, because nature is intelligent. Nature is structured to a T. Nature is the perfect structure. Where do you feel we got all of our ideas for architecture, for building, for creating? So we are part of nature's creation. We are nature's artwork. Smile when someone has passed away. But in essence, do what comes natural to you, because everyone has a different way of expressing themselves. Do not suppress yourself. Allow your emotions to flare. If you want to scream, scream. If you want to smile, smile. Do whatever comes naturally to you, because in essence, the power lies within. The answers lie within you. Life is an extraordinary gift. Let's talk of universal mind control. When you go to the cinema, what do you see? We see people getting shot, people getting killed. We have to ask ourselves, is this the sign of an advanced civilization? When we can pay money to see people getting murdered and tortured on the big silver screen. Therefore, all of this desensitizes us to death. Therefore, when someone passes away, we don't know how to deal with it, because in essence, we are not embracing life. People who are very calm, who are seeing the processional cycle of life, know how to deal with life, because they see that death is nothing to be worried and feared. In essence, without death, there can be no life, because death makes room for life. When someone we know has transitioned, we have to plant our feet back into Mother Earth to absorb the healing energies. Now is a time for meditation, healing, rest. It is a time for connecting back to the elements of our true, authentic being. It is a time of inner cleansing. That is how to deal with the passing of a loved one. We must heal ourselves. We must, in essence, make sure we are raising our vibration to a higher frequency. Because on ruminating on what we think is a tragedy only feeds our own pain, therefore making us dwell in anger, frustration, and turmoil. The first thing that happens when someone dies for a lot of us is that we become angry. We say, why did it have to happen to them? What is the reason? Why? We ask these questions, and that is beautiful because it helps us cope with the situation. But anger can only help us so far, because in essence, the more angry we become, the more that anger has to pass through our cells. Therefore, we end up becoming sick. And that's why a lot of people, they end up dying when someone else has died. Some people have died of shock. Just hearing the news has left many people in a great discomfort. Some people have had a heart attack. So we have to see that it is about flowing. It is about breathing. It is about being thankful for your life and being grateful for every single day of your existence. That is how to deal with the passing of a loved one. At this time, many people don't feel they should be enjoying themselves. They don't feel they should be having fun. No. When we're talking about dealing with the passing of a loved one, have as much fun as you can. Enjoy life to the maximum. Because your loved one would not want to see you grieving. They would not want to see you depressed. They would want to see you in the best light. They would want to see you happy, free, enjoying yourself, having a wonderful time. So we have to live how our loved one would want to see us in this particular point in time. Life is a roller coaster ride. It's not easy, but at the same time, once you embrace this transformation, this transition, it allows you to enjoy life to a greater extent. We are out here. Remember, you are not alone. The universe always sends someone. Life is a package. With the birds singing, are the birds afraid of dying or passing away? I wonder. infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.